Welcome back. Today we're diving into something that is literally going to change the way you see the world, and honestly, the way you see yourself. We're getting right into an explainer based on Ed Yong's mind-blowing book, I Contain Multitudes. Get ready, because we are about to completely flip the script on everything you thought you knew about biology, health, and, well, what it actually means to be human.
Okay, let's dive into this. We live in a world that is just absolutely obsessed with antibacterial cleanliness, right? We scrub, we sanitize, we avoid germs like the plague. But what if that instinct is just fundamentally backward? What if the exact germs you're trying so hard to wash down the drain are actually the hidden engines keeping you and literally the entire planet alive?
To really wrap our heads around this, let's start by zooming all the way out. Section 1. The mighty microbes, Earth's architects.
So, their planetary resume? It goes incredibly deep. If we look back to Era 1, the very beginning of Earth's existence, microbes were already there. But they weren't just hanging out. By Era 2, they became the first living things to figure out photosynthesis. Think about that. They literally created the oxygen-rich atmosphere that we're breathing right now. And moving into Era 3, they laid down the entire foundation of the planet's carbon cycle. Without microbes enriching the soil and driving these massive environmental cycles, Earth would honestly just be a dead barren rock floating in space.
So how exactly did they pull all this off? Well, it comes down to their unbelievable adaptability. Because they're so incredibly tiny and reproduce so fast, microbes evolve at a breakneck pace. We're talking way faster than the slow march of natural selection we see in bigger animals. This evolutionary superpower is exactly why they can survive, and completely thrive, in the most extreme, diverse environments all over the globe.
All right, so they basically built the planet's life support systems. But what happens when we look at the animal kingdom? That brings us to Section 2, Nature's Superpowers, Biological Sidekicks.
Let's check out some of these wild symbiotic relationships, starting with the tentiform leaf miner moth. This little guy has a fascinating survival hack. It relies totally on a microbe called Wolbachia. Now check this out. These microbes actually produce a specific hormone that alters the plant the moth is living on. It forces the leaf to stay green and stops it from falling off the tree too early, which, would otherwise doom the moth grub. The microbe is literally hacking the host's environment just to keep the insect alive. How crazy is that?
And this brilliantly illustrates another partnership. We see it in the bobtail squid. This animal hosts this highly complex microbial system right inside its own body, and they work together to power a light-emitting organ. By matching the moonlight shining down from above the water, this microbial light acts as a literal biological invisibility cloak. It makes the squid virtually unseeable to any predators lurking down below.
Since these partnerships are literally life or death, animals will go to some pretty extreme lengths to protect them. Take the Japanese stink bug, for instance. It actually coats its newly laid eggs with a very special fluid. Why? To pass its essential microbes directly onto its babies. It's basically handing down a precious family heirloom. Okay, yeah, a slightly gross fluid-based heirloom, but it's safeguarding this vital relationship so the next generation can digest tough foods and actually survive. Okay, let's shift the spotlight away from the bugs and the squids and point it directly at you. Section 3, the human microbiome, invisible ecosystem.
Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown is that the sheer math of our own existence is just staggering. Look at these numbers. Physically, you are actually more microbe than you are human. Seriously, the vast majority of the cells and genes walking around with your name on them, they belong to microbes. We are basically walking, talking microbial spaceships. And since every single person has a completely unique microbiome and they hold the numerical majority, well, they're the ones calling a lot of the shots.
So what exactly are they doing in there? Well, they're actively managing your health from the inside out. Your gut microbes digest vital nutrients that your human stomach just flat out cannot process on its own. But it goes way beyond digestion. They actually interact directly with your DNA, switching certain genes on to ensure healthy development. And, maybe most importantly, they are absolutely crucial for powering and training your entire immune system.
Which leads us directly to a pretty massive conflict with how we live our lives today. Section 4, the cleanliness paradox, cost of sanitization.
So, the crucial point is that a microbe isn't inherently good or bad. It is all about geography. The exact same type of microbe that does heavy lifting for essential digestion when it's tucked safely inside your gut, it could cause a massive, dangerous infection if it finds its way into a cut on your arm. The environment where the microbe actually is entirely dictates its impact.
We even see this rule of environmental context playing out in agriculture. Farmers will intentionally use a microbe called Bacillus thuringiensis. When used in the right context, it doesn't harm the crops at all. Instead, it acts as this highly targeted biological weapon to take out invading insects. Again, it's all about putting the right microbe in the exact right place.
To manage this wildly complex ecosystem inside us, our bodies rely on a process called calibration. Basically, this means setting the immune system to its ideal state. Larger animals use specialized tools like bacteriocytes and mucus to keep these microbial communities healthy and contained. A properly calibrated immune system knows exactly who the bad guys are. It won't ignore a minor threat, but crucially, it also won't overreact and attack the harmless, helpful microbes. And when that calibration fails, well, that's exactly what leads to certain autoimmune diseases. And right here is where our modern, hyper-clean lifestyle gets us into serious trouble. See, healthy, natural exposure to a wide variety of microbes is what actually helps calibrate our immune system to that perfect, healthy setting. But our modern obsession with antibacterial everything, wiping down every surface, living in these overly sanitized bubbles, it minimizes that essential exposure. By constantly wiping out the good bugs right alongside the bad ones, we risk completely throwing our immune system out of whack, which actually increases our risk of getting sick.
So what can you actually do about all this? Well, you've got to maintain healthy competition among your internal microbes. First off, do not be afraid to expose yourself to the natural world. Go outside, get a little dirt on your hands. Second, eat a diverse, plant-based diet. The fiber in plants is basically superfood for the good microbes in your gut. By doing these things, you foster this dynamic, perfectly balanced microbiome that keeps your immune system firing flawlessly.
This shift in understanding is completely rewriting the rulebook for science. Section 5, The Future of Medicine, Revolutionizing Care.
Let's move to and see how this builds on everything we've just talked about. Instead of just carpet bombing our bodies with broad-spectrum antibiotics that wipe out everything, good and bad, doctors are finally learning how to manipulate these microscopic organisms. We're already seeing incredible projects like Repopulate, yes, that's the real name, which actively uses good microbes to help patients overcome the deadly infectious disease C. diff. This is opening up an entirely new frontier of highly targeted microbial treatments that work way better than traditional drugs. And looking a little further ahead, the future gets straight-up sci-fi. Scientists are exploring ways to use modified bacteria as internal early warning systems, literally detecting a disease before you even feel that very first symptom.
It completely changes how you view yourself, doesn't it? Which leaves us with one final, truly profound question. If your health, your physical development, and your very survival depend entirely on this unseen, microscopic world, are you just a single human? Or are you, in fact, a walking multitude? Thank you so much for exploring this wild biological reality with me. Take good care of your microbes, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.